I'm telling you, I can't even believe this. I can't see straight. Never in my entire career in real estate have I ever encountered such horrific, absolutely slap in your face predatory practices. I've heard about predatory lending, ever since I got into real estate in 2006, but I've never truly experienced it like I did over these past few days. I met some folks. I was showing them a property as a favor for their agent who had a family emergency come up. And we saw a property and they fell in love. More about that story later. That's a good story. But oh my gosh, I had no idea who their lender was. They'd already worked with them. They'd already had an offer on another property. And so all I could do was just jump in with both feet because they fell in love with that house. And we were trying to get it before 87 other people in the market was trying to get it also. And so I'm contacting the lender. They're not being extremely responsive. I want to see a loan estimate so I have some idea what these folks have talked to them about and what their mortgage is going to look like according to the numbers that we were discussing. And I asked, are there any loan origination points, any, fees that I should be aware of, and zip, nothing. So, but the folks felt like, oh no, this person's been terrific. We had an offer on another property and, it didn't work out, but, we feel satisfied. And so I went forward and we worked out the terms with the seller, the most wonderful encounter and deal I've ever had as well. So how right is it that it should be the best on the one hand and the worst on the other? And so when things finally got down to brass tacks, when we got under contract in a minute, I'm asking for the numbers. Oh my gosh, we're talking a $430,000 purchase, and there were $13,000 of origination fees. $13,000, what the heck? The interest rate was 5.75 and the APR was 1.45. There's an indication of a problem there. And we were working with somebody who was licensed in one state, working on their Texas license. So they're operating under somebody else's Texas license. And I called the Texas guy because I want to know the person who's responsible. These two aren't talking by any means. And then when I talked to the other person from the other state, oh, they're new. Well, I can't find anything on her Facebook that indicates her current employer and exactly what it is she's doing now with her life, where at least the guy in Texas, I see who he's working for, and I see he's been working for him since 2020. So I don't know what her version of new is, but so I did fat finger her email. I wrote financial instead of financial. So when I sent a copy of the contract, she didn't get it, but he did. And he made no attempt to communicate with her. And I am just horrified when I went into further detail with my buyers about how general the numbers were that they've been given. They were all put together in one lump sum. And when I had the gal on the phone and I said, that I would like to see a copy of the loan estimate, and she was really puzzled. I didn't want her to know I had any suspicions. So she's like, is that for your file? I said, yeah, it's for my file. I do it for all my clients. But no, I'm a realtor that gets intimately involved in the financing portion of my buyer's transaction because I am a safeguard to make sure that they are not being taken advantage of. And I hate it when somebody comes to me and says, oh, I have a lender. I know this person. And let me tell you, this person was so sweet to the wife. They've been talking for months and months while they were getting ready for their purchase. So, oh my gosh, what was it she said? I'm so upset, like I can't even think straight. but she really kind of put her foot in her mouth. And I had it on speaker, and the buyer was sitting with me because we were at the home inspection. And it was just unbelievable. I had asked her the question about the loan origination fees, and she's like, oh, I talked to the buyer about them. I said, I didn't ask if you talked to the buyer about them. I said, what are they? I need to know. Like, hello, it's part of the contract. You new to this? So she would only talk to him on the phone. I whipped this loan estimate out to 3 different lenders that I know. And I'm like, folks, there is something stinky in this situation. Can you look at it and help me out? Now, they had particular financial situations that not your average, but not impossible. And so the first lender, she's like, I see what's going on, but I can't really help. But the other 2 were mortgage brokers, and they had more options. And so after discussing with the buyer, they both felt they had possible options, but one really jumped on the stick and went after and talked to somebody in underwriting. And it's like, we have a viable alternative. But the lender gave us questions to ask this other lender because of the things they weren't following according to FHA guidelines. And she called to answer. And he calls me, and I'm like, nope. I said, write her back, including me, straight up, no blind copy. She needs to know I'm watching this too. And tell her, hey, thanks for answering my phone call, but you know what? My head is swimming. When you tell me, I understand, but it's not the same when I need to share it with my wife. So, these are the questions. Please answer them so that we can go over them together, as if they were going to have a chance of keeping the loan with that company. And because I think this is territory for the CFPB, the Consumer Protection Financial Bureau. They've been around since 2010, and I haven't thought too much of them other than they really complicated the verbiage around the loan process and closing. But just like what's true in life, whatever you first call something, no matter how you try to rebrand it, it takes years and years and years of constant use. And we didn't constantly use it. So the only thing I know that really held on was you have to disclose the figures 3 business days before closing. So I'm telling you, realtors, it is your fiduciary obligation to get slightly, if you're only so comfortable, involved in your buyer's loan process, especially if they're first timers. They don't know. This isn't a second language. This is a 12th language for them. The words individually compute, but they can't process the whole thing. Like, they understand English. Each word has its individual meaning, but how it all comes together, they don't get it. They're overwhelmed with the real estate part of buying, the inspection part. They got to get insurance. They got to notify their landlord. They've got to get ready for moving. They've got so many moving parts going on, let alone what's ever happening in their personal life, their business. And I was so disappointed when I talked to the agent who had wind up referring me to these people. And I said, I know you've submitted an offer for them before. Have you interacted with the lender? Did you inquire about their pre-approval? Oh, no. If they bring a pre-approval, I don't do anything. I figured, that's their business. They take care of it. No, it's not. We need to be a team. And actually, I'm kind of more of a mother than like a team leader, because nobody messes with those I care about. I was furious with the lender, but like my mind blew with the realtor. And I remember when I first got back in the business in 2006, interest rates were about 6%. And I would see pre-approvals for 8%. And I'd be like, what the heck? And I said something to my colleagues, and it's like, oh, well, they got their pre-approval, I don't interfere. And it's like, but if you think that they have a chance of doing better by 2%, you don't think you owe it to the poor folks? Oh no, they don't want to disrupt the process. As long as they're chugging ahead to buying a house, I'm chugging away to getting a commission. Oh, I'd rather forfeit that commission and get my folks in better shape. This is absolutely unbelievable. Realtors, help your buyers with their loan process, especially the first timers. They don't get it. And oh my gosh, these people were so sweet. And the loan officer was so sweet. And so they had no idea the wool that she was trying to pull over their eyes. So please, please, please check out those pre-approvals. Make sure they mean what they say. Oh my gosh. And then I get this loan estimate and loan quote. And the purchase price was $430,000. The loan amount was $15,257. Really? Why do they need a loan if they have $415,000? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What the heck? The numbers were so wrong on this loan quote. It wasn't even funny. 3 points in processing fees and loan origination fees. Oh my gosh. That is the equivalent just about to their down payment. And nowhere do I see the earnest money deposit reflected on this stupid thing. Total closing costs, $25,000 on a $430,000 purchase. No. These numbers are so off. It is unflippin' believable to me. And I am so ashamed to be associated with folks who would participate in this without speaking up. So, buyers, make sure your realtor is leading the team, because there's so many components that go into your purchase. And it is imperative that you have a great inspector. Okay, some people would say mine's excessive. He was like, I think he got there about 11, somewhere between 10 and 11, and we didn't leave till 5. But the seller was home. It was very friendly. My buyer was there. I was there. It was great conversation just about stuff in general. When there was an issue, the inspector was able to ask the owner about it, and everything wound up being perfect, just some general maintenance and cosmetics. These folks took great care of their house. And the seller was so impressed with the thoroughness of this inspector that they're moving 95 miles away and they want him to do their inspection when they get there. So I am so thankful that the way that I have learned and the way that I've been taught to do real estate is to look out for the best interests of my clients first. And this is really going to make me even more powerful on the point of I want to vet the heck out of any lender they're trying to bring to the table, because I really am very strong with the lenders that I choose to work with. Communication is my big deal. And when you know we're writing an offer and I'm asking you about points for the contract, I really need an answer, especially when we've been in communication and you just all of a sudden drop off. That's not good. So buyers, please beware. Make sure you choose a realtor who is going to go over and above, who is really going to look out for you. Take a chance and, maybe not be everybody's best friend. I try to do things as kindly as possible, but I am very strong and nobody is walking over my clients because I treat them like family. And as a matter of fact, these folks are ready to adopt me as a mother figure, and I am so ready to adopt them as family because my kids don't listen to me. And they're so excited by the information and wisdom that I've shared with them. I can't see straight. Still love you, kids. Never going to replace you, but it's nice to feel appreciated, So God bless you. And please, lenders, if you're working for a company that is not actually going after the best practices, Oh, sorry, heads up. Now that we're in this high interest rate and this economic climate right now, this is what lenders are going to be trying to do. They're going to be tacking on fees, okay? So you've got to be super diligent. If you don't understand it, pull your realtor in. If you don't understand it, pull in a CPA, like get whatever help you can, because I know this stuff is overwhelming. And a lot of times you're like, uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. But you really don't get it. Know what you're paying for. Know what you are being charged. Okay? This is so important. And if you need a realtor in your local area and you don't know one who's a tiger like I am, I can help find you one. Okay? I am licensed in Maryland and Texas, but I've got contacts all over the country and around the world. I have traveled from Boston to California to France to Romania, Germany, Italy, Hungary. I've been to Russia. Don't tell anybody. For real estate. So I've got connections to people, and trust me, I'll stay on them to make sure you're well taken care of. Give me a holler, 817-796-6144. Kim Jones with the GPS group of eXp Realty. God bless you and have a great day. Share this with somebody you think could be helped, somebody who's thinking about going into the buying process, because we need to look out for one another. God bless you.